the two things that changed everything. These are surprisingly simple, but insanely awesome at reconnecting to yourself. So I want to share these with you because it is where my journey began. And it amazes me when I look back at that and realize what these two things did for me. So before I ever understood what I was actually doing, and all those moments where we promise ourselves that we're going to stop, we take some breaks, we do the 30-day challenges, dry January, whatever it may be. Some of us, the 75 hard, and we think, we did it, but somehow you just keep falling back into the same pattern. Nothing was working. I didn't know it then, but the turning point for me never came from trying harder or doing all these little things or, whatever we may like fight so hard to do, and the willpower and just fighting ourselves. Honestly, that's what it is. It's just fighting ourselves. It came down to two simple things. The first thing, daydreaming. One day, my husband asked me a question that just shook me to my core. And it made me start looking at myself and looking at things differently. And I asked myself, what would my life look like a year from now, 30 days from now, 90 days from now, a year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? And when I started doing that, and I really slowed down to imagine and daydream of that version of me, I did not like what I saw. And this tool has actually become a very solid piece of my journey. I do this a lot. The different choices that you make throughout this journey, I would daydream. And I like calling it daydreaming. I would daydream of, what would that choice do for me? How would that change things? How would I look at things differently? And that's what this is about. The curiosity, and to start daydreaming and start looking at yourself differently and look at your future. What does it look like? Okay, walking. Walking freaking changed everything for me. Daydreaming and walking, ladies, those are my two things. That is no joke what started this entire process for me, this entire journey, those two simple things. So now about walking. At this point, when I did not know what to do with myself, I was actually kicked out of my house at the time, and I was staying with my mother. And I did not know what to do. She did not talk to me. And I was trying to, and I don't mean that in a way, like there was just not the conversations around alcohol. It's an uncomfortable conversation. And so I was just left to myself a lot, and I didn't know what to do. And I was still highly in those cravings. And I just one day seriously walked out the door. I just walked out the door and started walking. And she lived in a beautiful neighborhood, deer everywhere, large lots. It was, in Central Texas. And I just started walking. And that first walk, man, I was just like, okay, that was, I don't know, I think I did a couple of miles my first time. And I got back and I was like, I just interrupted it. I just interrupted the craving. I just interrupted the pattern. Like, holy shit, what do I have here? I may be onto something. And so that's what I started doing. Every time a craving hit, I would disrupt that pattern and walk. And sometimes, a lot, I walked a lot. And sometimes if the weather wasn't great, if it was at night, I may just walk to the end of the driveway. Sometimes I'd walk just around the block, under a mile. Sometimes it would be 5 miles. But those walks just did something for me. And now in the beginning, I did not know how to be in silence. So a lot of music, podcasts, and at the time I was listening to different sobriety, alcohol-free podcasts. But then I started challenging myself then to quiet. What is that like? So I started walking without my phone. Whew, that's your next step. You start walking without that phone and you're just with yourself and your thoughts. And that started opening a whole new level. I had to sit, and I say sit with myself, but I had to sit with myself. I was walking by myself and I'm in my own thoughts and I'm starting to dissect things and go through life and my choices and what's going on. And some of those walks turned into lots of tears, and just a really, really peaceful, beautiful time to process. So when I say walking changes everything, it's how you walk. So as I said that those walks got longer, I want to tell you what also chain reaction that happened there. I started sleeping better. So I started finding myself getting that movement in my life. And I would be, for one, you're getting sunshine, you're getting fresh air, you're with the earth, and nature is my happy place. So I started sleeping better. I started finding myself being less anxious. I wasn't getting the cravings as much. And I started finding myself, I don't know, reconnect. That's maybe where the connection started happening. I was connecting with myself. I was giving myself more understanding, more patience, and I was hearing myself again. So this wasn't dramatic, but it was real. And it was something that I really held on to. And so I will say, walking didn't just help me get through the days. It actually was the beginning of me building a new life. So, for the next 7 days, I would like to challenge you to daydream, to walk, to start reconnecting with yourself. Those daydreams, sit with it. Sit with it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, quiet minutes, and start daydreaming. Walking, start slow. Start with a minute. Start with into the driveway. Start with around your apartment community, around the block, whatever it may be. Start moving, start walking, start reflecting, and be kind to yourself. The biggest thing through this entire journey is learning how to reconnect with ourselves, learning that awareness comes without shame, without judgment. And let's see how it goes.